the simcha of Purim is a very different simcha than the simcha of a whole year. The simcha of a whole year, we have Yom Tov, so our mitzvah simcha, Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah, and Machlokes. It's a simcha lismoyach b'Hashem, b'boso v'yayin. When we come to the Yom Tov of Purim, the Tzuras HaSimcha is completely different. Es ist im Ganzen anders, the Tzuras HaSimcha, than the Tzuras HaSimcha of all other Yom Tovim. It's a certain unrestrained Simcha. We find the mitzvah, Chayav Inish Levisuma B'Puri Adelo Yoda. So it's a famous word from the Briskerov, that all other Yom Tovim, the mitzvah Simcha is Lismoyach B'Hashem. Zeh HaYoim Oso Hashem, Nogilo V'Nismucho Boi. Steht im Medrash, Eini Yedea Em Boi B'Yoim, Oi Boi B'Akadosh Baruch Hu, Talmud Loima, Nogilo V'Nismucho Boch. Boch B'Toyrosoch, Boch B'Yeshuosoch, Boch B'Chof Beis Oisis Shel HaTorah. The mitzvah of Simcha in all Yomim Tovim is zuzukommen zu Lismoyach B'Hashem. Tainet the Briskerov, Masha'en Kein, the Simcha of Purim has got nothing to do with Lismoyach B'Hashem. Steht Mishta v'Simcha. It's a Simcha in and of itself. And in that Simcha is an unrestrained Simcha. It's a Simcha that's not mugbal. And there we find there's a mitzvah of Chayav Inish Levsuma B'Puri. There's a mitzvah to get drunk that we don't find in any other Mokem Bichlal in Yiddishkeit. And we need to understand why is Purim so different than all other Yomim Tovim, that there's a bazundra type of Simcha. There's a mitzvah of Mishta v'Simcha, which is a mitzvah of unrestrained Simcha. The Gemara says that B'Shas Kabbalah HaTorah, even though Klal Yisrael said Nasa v'Nishma, but there was an element of Kfir. Kofa aleim har kegigis. And the Gemara says, Mikam oidor rabba lo yiraisa. I've got an excuse. Eibishter comes to me and says, why didn't you keep Torah mitzvahs? I never wanted to be Kabbalah Torah. You forced me. If you forced me, so it's a Kabbalah. It's a oinus. Zok the Gemara, Afal Pikein, Hoda Kiblu b'mei Achashverosh. In the days of Achashverosh, we were Makabel the Torah me'avo. Zok Rashi, what's Pshat was Makabel the Torah me'avo, me'avas hanes. From the great Avas hanes, the Eibishter was Makabel, or the Klal Yisrael were Makabel the Torah again. What is the Avas hanes? What is the bigger Avas hanes in the Nes of Purim more than Yitzias Mitzrayim? By Yitzias Mitzrayim, we came to Matan Torah, we came to Har Sinai, and we weren't Muchan to be Makabel the Torah. Masha'en came, when we came to the Yom Tov of Purim, all of a sudden then, the Geder of us there, all of a sudden there was a certain Nes that may Avas hanes we were Muchan to be Makabel the Torah. What was the Yehudius? What was the speciality of the Nes von Purim, that wegen dem we were Makabel the Torah me'avas hanes? So da more the Gewalt from Chasam Sofer. Chasam Sofer says that the concept of the Nes that we found b'Shas Purim was the concept of bנים משחיתים. We were nene misudas Achashverosh, and that is the reason why the Eibishter was going to kloy on Am Yisrael. And during the Suda, where we were chayta, with them that we were nene misudas Achashverosh, we were partying together with the Goyim, in that Suda alone, the Eibishter prepared the Nes and killed Vashti in order to bring Esther into the Beis HaMalchus, in order to save Klal Yisrael from Homam. Even though we were in a darga of Mashchisim, we were doing Averis, the Eibishter prepared a Nes. Such a Nes is a different type of Nes. Boni Mashchisim, the concept of even though we're Mashchisim, Afal Pi Shechotu Bonechohem, is still a child. When the Eibishter made us a Nes, all other Nisim that we went through, when we weren't dafka doing Averis, then the Sibba, the Nes, Avada, the Eibishter made us worthy Nisim. Say that. Sedon Nisim in the world. The Eibishter makes Nisim. Oi Salonu Nisim when it come over Pharaoh. The Eibishter makes us say the Nisim. But when we're doing Averis, and at the same time the Eibishter makes for us a Nes, with this the Eibishter is expressing that here, what's going on here is not about you're my chosen nation, you're keeping Torah mitzvahs, you're my children, you're my bonim, b'ni b'chayri Yisrael, you're closer to me. I'll make you a Nes. The Eibishter is showing that the reason why he makes us nisim is because we are his children. And a child, doesn't make a difference how much he misbehaves. Bleibt ein Kind. It doesn't make a difference how much the child challenges the parents. Bleibt noch ein Kind, and you'll always help him. You'll always save him. Even if a child is chutzpedig, was soll noch sein? You'll still save a child, because the love a father has for a child is unconditional. So it's not conditional. It's not based on anything. I'm going to love my child because. There's no because. It's unconditional. So b'shas, the ness of Purim, the Eibishter showed us. The Eibishter showed us that the love he has for us is unconditional. Unconditional love is mechayev for us to reciprocate with unconditional love. We say in Ma'ariv, Avas olam beis Yisrael amcho hovto. Torah mitzvah is chukim u'mishpatim eisonu limadento. The Eibishter gave us a Torah to learn. The love the Eibishter gave for us, the love the Eibishter expressed by giving us a Torah. Avas olam beis Yisrael amcho hovto. Ribono shel olam, you loved Klal Yisrael, Avas olam. And therefore, Torah mitzvah is chukim u'mishpatim eisonu limadento. Therefore, you taught us Torah mitzvahs, you gave us a Torah. Al kain Hashem Elokeinu b'shochveinu v'kumeinu nosiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei seirasecha. What's the al kain? You express love by giving us a Torah, so we're going to express love in return by learning the Torah, by keeping Torah mitzvahs. Because love can only be reciprocated with love, unconditional love. So therefore, the yisoid of the ness of Purim was the Eibishter expressed to us tremendous avo, unconditional, and therefore we have to express back unconditional love. And therefore we will makabel the Torah, me'avas hanes, we will makabel the Torah, kabbalas ha-Torah ba'avo, favos, balazoi, onkach heshboinus. The Gemara says, Esther men ha-Torah minayin, how do I know Esther, wo steht Esther the Torah? Shanema v'anoichi haster aster ponai. What's v'anoichi haster? Frag the Gaon, what's a shaykhis? Where's Esther Merubas in the Torah? The Eibishter says, I will hide my face. What's mean? Zok the Gaon amur the Gevot. Zok the Gaon that Esther, the ness of Esther, came mitoicha Hester. The Hester ponim that we have in the world doesn't come from the Eibishter. The Hester ponim comes from us. Steht mashkiach men hachalonos, meitzitz men hacharakim. The Eibishter is mashkiach men hachalonos. He's looking out the window, watching over us. And his meitzitz ben acharakim, he looks through the cracks. What's the difference? There's no difference mitzad the noisim, mitzad the one watching. When you've got a window, you can see clearly. When you have a crack, you can also see clearly. The difference is mitzad the ones being watched. When I'm watching from a window, I'm watching my kids outside, my kids see me, I see them. When I'm looking through a crack, I see them the same. They don't see me. When Klal Yisrael is in a guta matzav, when Klal Yisrael or Isim Retzoni Shel Mokim, the Eibishter looks out the windows to Beis Hamikdash, and the Klal Yisrael can see the Shechina, and the Shechina says, Klal Yisrael Kaderach Shabol Lirois Kach Bol Lirois. Comes Golus, we're sending Golus. The Eibishter is still there. He's watching the same. It's Meitzitz Ben Acharakim. The Eibishter is watching from the cracks. He sees us the same. We just don't see him. The Eibishter sees us. We don't see him. It's Haster Aster. Oh, but the Haster Aster is coming from our end. We are not Mekablim. We are not ready to see the Shechina because of our Averas. Oh, but the Eibishter cooked auf uns the Zelba. The Eibishter is watching over us the same. That's what Esther Malka taught us. That even when we're doing Averas, so therefore, Kivyochel, there's a wall between us and the Eibishter. There's always cracks. And the Eibishter looks through the cracks, and the Eibishter sees us exactly the same as in the good times. The difference is only that we can't see him. That's what Esther taught us. Even when there's a Hester upon him, but the Eibishter will still make nisim. Mitoicha chet, mitoicha Hester, the Eibishter still makes nisim. There's no cheshbon. There's no cheshbon. And therefore the simcha of Purim is unrestrained. It's onkashum cheshbon. It's unrestrained simcha because it's not related to I'm going to give the Eibishter, I'm going to be Shema Torah mitzvahs, I'm going to be Makabel, Pesach is all the avodah of Pesach, Shavuos is all the avodah of Shavuos, Kabbalas HaTorah, Sukkot is all the avodah of Sukkot. Purim is not an avodah. Purim is Poshet. Mefreit sich that I'm Zoicha to be Bonim Atem Hashem Elokeichem. The Eibishter is my father, and I'm a child. And that goes through even today. There's a very famous Rambam. The Rambam Shloim Koiboi. I think the Olam, we've spoken this Rambam before. The Rambam has got a sefer before Yad. The Rambam's got a sefer mitzvahs. Then in the beginning of Yad, he's got a sefer minyan mitzvahs hakotzer. When he puts every mitzvah in one line. Stam Kedai, someone has a bit of time. Sometime Ben Azmanim, you have a Sunday afternoon. It's a good idea to read through, because to read through all the Tarag mitzvahs is very difficult. But you have here in 2 or 3 pages, you have all Tarag mitzvahs. Just to familiarize yourself with the mitzvahs. And when the Rambam finishes the Sefer HaMitzvahs, he says there's 7 more mitzvahs. 7 mitzvahs to Rabbonon. The Rambam at the end, again, is before the Sefer Mada, right? The beginning of Mada, when he brings the Minyan HaMitzvahs, at the end, he says these are the Tarag mitzvahs, and there's another 7 mitzvahs to Rabbonon. And then the Rambam has a kasha, why is it not Bal Tosif? Why are the Sheva mitzvahs to Rabbonon not Bal Tosif? Why are the Sheva mitzvahs not Bal Tosif? So the Rambam says, because if we would come along and say, Rebbeinu Shalom commanded us to keep these mitzvahs, there would be a problem of Bal Tosif. Because why am I learning Megillah? Because the Eibishter told me. The Eibishter never told you. Chazal, it comes from Takonos Chazal, from Anshe Knesset Agdoila, Megillas Esther, Mordechai Esther. So, Zok the Rambam, it's not Bal Tosif. Because I'm not saying that the Eibishter told me to keep this mitzvah. No, I'm saying that it came from Chazal. And the Rambam describes what is the mitzvah of Kriyas HaMegillah. And it's kedai to go into Purim knowing this Rambam. And after Rambam, we should know it by heart. But the Rambam says Hazoi. Elokachonu oimrim shanavim im based in tiknu v'tzivu likras HaMegillah boinoso. They were mitzvah that we should lay the Megillah boinoso. Why were they mitzvah that we should read the Megillah boinoso? Kedei lahazki shvochov shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. To mention the shvochim of the Eibishter, u'tshuos she'osalonu, and the nisim, the Yeshuas the Eibishter made for us. V'hoya korev l'shavosenu, the Eibishter was close to our tefillas. Kedei levorchoi u'lehaleloi. The idea is we should recognize the Eibishter is close to us. Kedei we should bench him and we should praise him. U'kedei lohidia ledoires haboim she'emes ma she'ivtichonu ba'Torah ki mi goy godel ashelo Elokim kroivim elov kashem Elokeinu b'chol koreinu elov. Niflo ma'od. That the idea of learning Megillah is to let the future generations know that the Eibishter promised us in the Torah, ki mi goy godel ashelo Elokim kroivim elov kashem Elokeinu b'chol koreinu elov. And in order we should recognize that, we should give it over to the future generations. That's why we have a mitzvah of Kriyas HaMegillah. Said the Briskerov, we say, Chuosom ha'yisol ha'netzach, in Shoshanas Yaakov, Chuosom ha'yisol ha'netzach, v'sikvosom b'chol doir v'doir, lo hidia shekol koivecha. What's lo hidia? What does it mean? So Briskerov explained, well, lo hidia, in order to know, said the Briskerov, pshat in the piyut of Shoshanas Yaakov is this Rambam. That the reason, Chuosom ha'yisol ha'netzach, Rebbeinu Shalom, you made Chuos ha'netzach, v'sikvosom b'chol doir v'doir. Why? Lo hidia, to let Klal Yisrael know that the love there is like a father to a son. Shekol koivecho, anyone who waits for the Eibishter, anyone who wants to connect to the Eibishter, lo yevoishu v'lo yikolmu lo netzach kol hachosim boch. If you hang onto the Eibishter, is lo yikolmu lo netzach. The Rambam brings a posuk, ki mi godla shelo Elokim kroivim elov, kashem Elokeinu b'chol koreinu elov. It's a very interesting medrash in Parshas V'eschanan. The medrash says in Parshas V'eschanan that the Malachim came to the Eibishter. It's very interesting to medrash. Malachim came to the Eibishter and they said, when is Rosh Hashanah? When is Yom Kippur? They need to know. We say in Sanatoike for Malachim Yechofezun, V'chilur Odo Yechezun. The Malachim are also scared of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. So the Malachim are scared of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Is when is Rosh Hashanah? When is Yom Kippur? They come to the Eibishter. What does the Eibishter answer? I don't know. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur is decided by Bezdin. I don't know when Rosh Hashanah is. Let's go together and ask Klal Yisrael. And they go together to ask the Bezdin. Hodu dichsiv Steht nicht that we are close to Hashem. It says Hashem is close to us. The Eibishter comes down to us. Agav, when is this Maisa? When does this Maisa happen? Between the Malachim and the Eibishter. On Rosh Chodesh El, middle of El, can't be. Because it depends when Rosh Hashanah is going to be. So it has to be on Rosh Hashanah. First day Rosh Hashanah, Choftes, Lamed, and then they want to know, is today Rosh Hashanah or is tomorrow Rosh Hashanah? The Eibishter says, let's go down and ask Klal Yisrael. On of Yom Rosh Hashanah, this is the greatest talk from Pachad. On that day, it says in Pasuk, Asheloi Elokim Krevim Elov, Kashem Elokeinu B'chol Koreinu Elov, the Kirva was is da, from zwischen Ayid und the Eibishter, B'chol Koreinu Elov. That love is there on Purim, that love is there on Rosh Hashanah, B'shas the din itself, because it's unconditional. It's unconditional. I'm standing with Rosh Hashanah, when like we have Averis, and there's a din. There's no din. No chamal. Avada there's a din. But the love isn't any less. Because bנים משחיתים, the love is unconditional. The Eibishter tut uns lieb. That's what the Rambam says in Mada, when he describes what's the concept of reading Megillah. And that is the expression. And therefore our avoida is weiter. What do we do back? And this is something that we need to ask ourselves. What is avoida of Purim? What do we give back to the Eibishter? He's expressing his love to us even though we're not worthy. What do we give him back? In what way do we express our love for him unconditionally? Rebbeinu Shalom, you give me good parnasa, I'll give tzedakah. Rebbeinu Shalom, you give me yeshuv adas. Someone says, I can't learn today, I don't have headspace. I don't have headspace to learn. So when you have headspace to learn, of course you learn. When you don't have headspace to learn, that's when you're giving the Eibishter. What do we give back unconditional? What do we give back? How do we reciprocate that love that's completely unconditional? The concept of giving away. What was the koach of Esther? How were we zoicha to the nes? We were zoicha to the nes because she was moise nefesh. Kasha ovanti. She gave her life away. She knew she may be killed. That's the koach. The koach of Mesiras Nefesh. What's Mesiras Nefesh? Unconditional. Rebbeinu Shalom, there's a deal here. Give me life, give me panosa. You give me panosa, I can keep Torah mitzvahs. All of a sudden, Mesiras Nefesh for a mitzvah, not mechuyev. It's not gimel averis. When you give yourself away, and you're moise nefesh, strength zichon to serve the Eibishter, be it to daven, be it to learn, be it to do chesed, strength zichon. That's where you're expressing unconditional love for the Eibishter, and that's the avodah of Purim. The Eibishter gives us unconditional love, b'chol mikre, and we give back to him unconditional love. So mitaka zoicha zayin, to have a moedige Purim, mitaka zoicha zayin, to feel kimi godel asher lo elokim krevim elov, kashem elokeinu b'chol koreinu elov.